But a lot of them are also at the train stations and airports as well. Now, the murder victim is identified as 29-year-old Shelley Fields. Bob and Tracy, police are still trying to determine what led to this shooting.
Bob, for one thing, 911 calls have dropped in half ever since this police community assistance station opened here in Halifax Court. People who call this public housing complex home say without question life is better now.
And they also cannot tell us exactly when the water will be restored. But it is not only residents who are being affected, it is also businesses like this restaurant here. All of these restaurants have had to shut down tonight because the health department requires them to have running water. The shelters that have opened along the coast here are starting to fill up quite a bit. In fact, we're told quite a few of them are at capacity now. People are showing up. They're being turned away to go to some of the other shelters that are not quite full now. You just saw them. They just finished up a little while ago. And while it only takes a second for them to all go up in the air, it takes quite a lot to put it all together, a lot more than just lighting a match and a fuse.
Moore joins us now from the Satellite Center with that story. Brian, were there a lot of people protesting the president's visit?
Actually, not that we found, Tracy, not a whole lot of people at all. We actually expected quite a few more protesters because of the Monica Lewinsky ordeal, but that was not the case. Mainly it was just a few individuals who wanted to get a message across to the president.
President Clinton may be in the middle of a crisis, but here in Raleigh, he was in middle of hundreds of supporters. Polls show he continues to enjoy a high approval rating nationwide, and his reception here today is proof of that.
Well, we think it's an honor that Clinton would come to Raleigh. We thought we'd take time out to see the president. If he could take time out to see us. All those Democrats that came.
But not everyone is welcoming the president with open arms.
I think we need a leader. I don't think we have one. I think we have a liar. I think that's been proven time and time again.
It took Mark Sweat 2 days to get a permit so he could make his feelings known. He was just one of a handful of people here to send the president and his supporters a message.
This is a chance of a lifetime for me. I'm a Vietnam veteran, a Desert Storm veteran, and it's just my way of getting back at Bill Clinton for protesting against our sacrifice in Vietnam.
Supporters of President Clinton say they're surprised there weren't actually more protesters here against him, but they say those that were here have every right to express their opinion.
Certainly they're entitled to their own opinions. God bless them. We live in a democratic society where they can express their own opinions.
We're all entitled to free speech.
For the most part, the protesters were peaceful, but police and Secret Service agents swarmed around two men carrying religious signs on state fairgrounds property.
We're not picketing up, but you have to have a ticket or parade permit to be here, sir.
They were quickly moved across the street. All in all, a peaceful but small group of people exercising their freedom of speech.
And, of course, there was tight security tonight, hundreds of police officers, highway patrolmen and women, and sheriff's deputies, and it looks like, from what we've been told, that they were able to keep a tight rein on things. A Durham legislator says, yes, the state is being too generous, and he wants it to stop. One secret document suggests Brown and Williamson once considered making tobacco-based lollipops and other candies with nicotine. Good evening, I'm Brian Moore. Topping the news tonight, the spirit of the holiday season. A group of Carolina Beach residents worked to spread Christmas cheer to everyone today. The Help Center, a center composed of Pleasure Island Church members, wrapped the bare necessities for needy families. As Ken Lemon tells us, the premise was to make sure that everyone gets at least a good meal for Christmas. And all of the food and toys were donated by area businesses and some members of the community. Well, meantime, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is also lending a helping hand to a lot of people. The agency has now paid out nearly $37 million to New Hanover County residents in disaster assistance since Hurricane Fran. The storm slammed the North Carolina coast in September. FEMA says nearly 3,000 households in New Hanover County have applied for assistance. Those grants help people pay rent for alternate housing, make repairs, and avoid eviction or foreclosure for those who may have lost a job due to the hurricane. You can still apply for federal help. The deadline is January 4th. You can call FEMA at 1-800-462-9029. In other news, you better watch out, not for Santa Claus, but for state troopers. They plan on being out in full force now that the holidays are upon us. The Highway Patrol announced their latest campaign yesterday. It's called STOP, or State Troopers on Patrol. They say the whole idea is to keep drunk drivers off the roads and keep highways safe. The Highway Patrol says paperwork is being trimmed so more officers can be on the roads catching drunk drivers through the holidays. Operation STOP will continue through January 5th. Well, parking is at a premium at area shopping malls and shopping centers this weekend. It's the last weekend before Christmas. Retailers are offering big sales and discounts to lure in the last-minute shoppers. Analysts say stores appear to be having a good holiday season so far, but they say the pace needs to be strong over the next 3 days. Christmas is on Wednesday. Well, Santa took time out of his busy schedule to help the American Red Cross today. Kids were invited to get their picture taken with Santa at Champion Rent-to-Own on Dawson Street. Pictures cost $1 each. Proceeds go to the Red Cross, and everyone had a good time. Well, Cape Fear Community College prepares for the future and makes a commitment to downtown Wilmington. We'll have that story when the weekend edition returns.